Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pocket Knockers podcast, where we knock pockets until they've got little holes in them, and then you lose your loose change down there, and it goes down your trouser leg or in the inside lining of your jacket. What the fuck is wrong with those holes? We've got Mr. MeanMachineDean today. He's got a machine that's very mean. He's in the bottom left of your screen if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're listening on Spotify or anything else that you can listen to a podcast on, then just imagine him next to you, whispering into your ear. He is on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, ? And YouTube. Very important about the YouTube bit, because he also has a podcast and recently did one with Daniel Pesina. How did that go, Dean?
It was incredible. It's very weird to interview someone that you have played as in a game and then uppercut his head off.
Oh, the guy from Mortal Kombat. Yes, he was Scorpion, wasn't he? Was it Scorpion?
So he was Johnny Cage, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Noob Saibot, and Reptile. So he played a plethora of different characters. But it was a bit weird to think that you uppercut his head off and then suddenly you're talking to him. So it was a bit odd, but it was fantastic.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and you told me that he did motion capture for it as well.
Yeah, so there's quite a few videos on YouTube, actually, of the motion capture. So they went through a lot of really, I would say, or he did, a lot of horrible times where they were using I won't spoil it, but basically they went through a back room doing a secret project, and essentially he was falling on concrete whilst they were trying to figure out how they were going to capture everything in such a way that they could then crop it out and then add it into the game.
God, that couldn't have been good for his balls at all, as in the ones that they stick to him. Right. Ed, how are you today?
I am marvellous. Thank you very much for asking, Michael.
Bloody lovely.
How have you been?
Been good, chilling out. I had a homemade pasty earlier from down south, isn't it?
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Lovely stuff.
You southerners and your pasties.
I know, yes. And we are going to be knocking Dean's pocket today for a game scenario. Now, this is actually the first time that we have repeated a subject. Our first podcast ever with Mark. Hello, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
We did games.
Hi, Mark.
So we're actually...
That was a bit weird. I apologise.
So this is the first time we've got to repeat one. We are actually going to use the same lists that we used last time, minus, of course, those games. And we have also removed one game each from Dean's super secret list of games that we never played because, Ed played one and I played the other. So it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Just to explain it, if you're a first-time listener or watcher, the first round is where we pick our first good game each, and we have to try and fight for why it's the best one. The second round, we have to go through and do the opposite. We have to say why it's the worst game, and we have to try and propose the worst one. In the third one, as aforementioned, we're going to take a game from Dean's list, and we're not going to know anything about the game, but we're just going to have to be like a car salesman and sell it. And Dean, through all those rounds, has to be completely unbiased as well. Of course, if he likes Vice City a lot, he's going to pick that one as the best game. But it's got to be completely about how Ed and I sell those games to him. Are we ready?
Just to say, people who've listened already know this, but to keep the excitement going on the third and final round 1 and 2 is 1 point. And then the third round is 2 points, just in case, someone has won round 1 and 2, there's still a chance for a draw. And then if there's a draw, we have a super special round.
Yes, the actual not pocket knocking happens.
We will see if that happens.
Basically, you put something random in your pocket, Dean, and we have to guess what it is. It's not that difficult, but hopefully we won't get there. I'll buy you a Westlife CD first if it does happen.
Oh, cheers, mate. Right. I fucking love that album.
That album?
I don't know. Did they have multiple? I couldn't really give a shit, but anyway.
I don't know. I would think so. Anyway, Ed.
Yes.
Spin that wheel.
Right. We are starting with Michael's list of good films.
Oh, these are games, not films.
Michael's list of games. Point. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Right.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll remember to edit that bit out. Okay, 9 games, and the wheel is spinning.
Oh, look at it go. Look at it go. Come on. What are we getting?
Ooh. Scarface.
Scarface.
That's The World Is Yours on PS2.
Ah, okay. Lovely. That sounds exciting. Right, now
Perfect.
to my list. We have...
Here we go.
Spinning.
Some tasty ones
Tick,
in
tick,
there.
tick,
Some
tick.
tasty ones.
Ooh.
All good choice.
Burnout Paradise. Lovely, beautiful. I quite like that. Okay.
Well, hopefully it's your good list.
I quite like... No, out of the choices, I'm thinking that's one that's quite fresh in my memory, so it's a good choice for me.
Good.
So yes, I'm sure we've already gone through the premise with Dean, but the idea is he can ask us a set of questions, and he can either say, Mike, I want to ask you a set of questions first and ask me, or he can take it in turns. They don't all have to be the same. Basically, you are the judge, and you're even if you've played these games or not, you've got to be completely unbiased. It's all about how we sell the product.
Apparently I didn't say it well enough the first time, but that's okay.
Mike, I wasn't listening to you. When do I ever fucking listen to you? I just wanted to talk. I never get to talk on this fucking podcast.
Right, Dean, how do you want to do it? Do you want to ask us just random questions, or do you want to have one of us go at once and then the other person say again? After that,
right.
It's up to you.
I have a great idea. Right. So what I want is a quick 30-second spiel. That if I was to open a magazine, what would it say? Be the first line that it says.
Such game, very cool. Very cool was actually that.
You've obviously read a lot of literature before.
Yes, I'm a man of culture.
So I'm gonna throw that one out to Ed first. So let's get a 30-second spiel of what that first line would be.
Okay, right. Burnout Paradise is a open world racing game developed by Criterion Studios of the classic Burnout series. But this time round, as I've already explained, is open world, and you can just drive around anywhere you want. You take down cars as usual, and you have various sets of challenge types, such as your normal races, takedowns, most wanted, and you also have a fantastic online open world opportunity with many online challenges, which is I spent a lot of time on.
I think you're going to have to do something pretty special to top that one, Mike.
Can I also just say, at one point, me and a friend of mine I played online with, one of the online challenges, we got to number 2 in the world.
Oh,
Because no one else is playing.
Come on, Mike. Yes, exactly. It was at 3 a.m., but never mind. Right,
Yeah,
come on, Mike. Let's have it.
Right, Scarface, The World Is Yours on the PlayStation 2. You play as Scarface, and it's not licensed, but, Al Pacino didn't do the voice, but it's fucking good. It's so good. Basically, you've got Miami. Think Vice City. It looks very similar to that. Lots of purple neon and everything. Obviously set in the 80s as well. It's the music, the soundtrack is actually very reminiscent of something that Rockstar would have come up with as well. But when I played this, obviously I'm a big fan of the Grand Theft Auto franchise, and I thought this is just going to be another clone. No, man. Like, this is completely different. You're going through and actually doing things that Scarface was doing. It follows off after when Scarface gets shot in the back and falls in the swimming pool. Basically, it carries on from that. So you actually turn around. The first thing you do is shoot him in the face. Amazing. And then you run out. But you have to go into hiding and you have to build yourself back up. But you can actually rebuy that mansion, repurpose it, and get it back up to spec by like a whole business, if you like, and you have to start delivering cocaine around and everything. And you can get a fucking gunboat with guns on it and a fucking Hummer with guns on it. And they're amazing just to drive around the road and shoot the shit out of stuff.
There is one thing that I noticed is when you said no man, you actually put on a Colombian accent. You were like,
no man.
No man. Like, no man. Like,
look at you now.
I'd just like to point out that it was a long 30 seconds.
That was something I was going to come on to. So Mike has clearly gone well above and beyond. So.
Oh, sorry. That was mine.
Okay. Favorite memory from the game, Ed, go.
My favorite memory of the game was probably when I started getting into online communities, really, because I've played online games before in the past. Like, I've said before, one of the first ones I remember is Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. But that was more just randomly finding people, playing online with them. But this was one where there used to be a forum. I used to go on AV forums. There was a
blimey, I was on that years ago.
Yeah, oh, brilliant.
Yeah, years ago. No, sorry to interrupt. It just randomly came. I was like, shit, I used to go on that.
Yeah, so I used to be on the PS3 section for that quite a fair bit. And we gathered a small community together. Originally, what it was is because there used to be a trophy in Burnout Paradise where it was you all had to meet up in the baseball arena, all online, but you had to fill the room up and do the full challenge.
Whoa!
And but because you could never find 8 people who all wanted to do it, then they would all just meet up. But after that, then we just all started playing online. And sometimes we would just drive around, race around, and just having a laugh, having a chat. It was almost, you'd still enjoy the game, but also you'd enjoy the company. And then the Cops and Robbers DLC came along, it's very similar to Capture the Flag. You're either the cops or the robbers. You've got to pick up this piece of gold and you've got to get it back to your set base. And we would just spend hours and hours on it. I ended up completing the game by 102%. After God knows how long, doing all the online challenges. I unlocked every single little bit of it. It just felt like, it didn't feel like it was a constant grind. And as long as you had a decent community online as well, you would do all the online stuff as well. So that's the feel to me. It was the first time I really got into like a gaming community.
102%.
Because you used to have the 100% for the game. Then you would have 1% for the bikes DLC. And then you would have another 1% for all the online challenges.
Well, look at the big brains in this guy. I'm impressed.
There was also a second section called Big Surf Island, which they added on afterwards. But that was a separate 100%, which I also completed.
Well, there we go. So I have now learned something about a game that I have actually played before. But anyway, Michael, I'm going to 3-point to this one out to you so you can alley-oop and slam that one in. Over to you. Let's hear it. Favourite memory from Scarface?
So, as you go through the game, you start buying businesses and you have to extort them and you have to say, like, protection money, like random businesses, like record stores and things like that. You've gone
straight in at conning people. Like, not anything else. Graphics, music. Nah, I love businesses and conning the crap out of people. It's my thing.
Destroying them.
Wonderful. Yeah. Good start.
This is why we don't have a Patreon. Because he would fuck off with the money.
Good.
So,
answer.
Yeah. You every time you take over a business, you start getting income from them, and you have to also start selling cocaine through them as well. And of course, right? And obviously, towards the end of the game, you end up with a massive string of businesses. Bam Margera actually even voices one of the people for the record shop.
That's cool.
Yeah, like, so towards the end of the game, you've got loads of stuff, and you get that car that I mentioned earlier with the cannons on the front of it. And I remember it's so much fun, man, going through, because by this point, you start off and you do like your one shop and that you've got, and then you run back to your base before the police catch you and hand it in. And then you go back, oh yeah, you've got another one now, and then you've got that hotel, and then you've got that club, and then you've got that, and then it just it springs on. By the time you've finished the game, you've got so many, probably about, I'd say 20 businesses, and you literally have to drive through about 5 islands, if you can imagine, like San Andreas-y sort of size islands, to get all this stuff. And you figure out a good course, right? It's like a race course almost, but the police are putting roadblocks because you've got this kind of Hummer with the guns on it. You're just blowing the shit out of them, and then quickly jump out the car, run through the shop, pick it up. And then there's also points as well, like where like one of the shops that you've already been to all the way back is actually being attacked by a cartel. So you have to quickly go back, help him out, carry on, and you by the point you've got a little counter down the bottom, and it will say, okay, you've got 1.5 million. Now you've got 2 million. Now you've got 5 million and stuff like that. And if you get killed, obviously you lose all of that, and you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can have another go. So, but just doing those runs, and by the time you've towards the end of the game, you've just perfect it, and you've got the good gear, as I say, that Hummer. And one of the best things about the game, I can't remember what button it is. I think it's Shift, is taunt. And he's just like, because it's Scarface, right? And it's like, Gah! It's like, it's the only game where I've ever actually used the taunts, because it's so, so cool. And there's this element in a mechanic, if you like. Have you ever played like the Sniper Elite series? When you shoot someone, it says like left nut, or yeah, it does that as well, which is always quite satisfying.
Which part did you blow off? His left nut and the inner thigh. Yeah, that I was hoping you were going to say at the end you just end up on like a mountain of cocaine, just stand at the top, just like that would have been brilliant. Just what happened to your businesses? I turned them all into cocaine, and I stood at the top with 2 machine guns. Like,
You just
that would have been
bricks out of cocaine.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Lego, but with cocaine bricks. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah. Still better than Mega Blocks, though.
What else can I ask? No, but that is true. I did randomly find out some Chinese Lego. Don't touch it. Just literally don't touch it.
I think I bought like a cheap kit once from like a shit place or B&M or something like that, and like it was so bad that one of the bricks didn't even go together. I was like, well, that fucking shit.
Did we quality test this?
Yeah, I got through a loot crate years ago. I can't remember what they're called. They look like really tiny Lego. Like I built, I think it was a Mario or something like that, out of like the really tiny little things. Yeah, that's not too bad. But then I think once again you get one of these things where you go, oh, that's a good idea, and then you find them like on Wish or whatever it's called, and then you get it and it's just not as good, and because you try and build it up again and it's just all tilting to the side because nothing fits on properly. And you got the little plastic tabs on the bricks.
Yeah. There's do you know Fast and Furious? You know the Dominic Toretto's Charger, the black muscle car, right? Gorgeous thing, right? And I was watching those films when I was younger. It really kind of it sticks with me. It's something that you always like to see. But there was a Lego model now where you can get that. Only come out I think last year, and it's about 90 quid. It's like one of the expensive-y ones, but looking at Dean's face, you're right. Yeah, they go up to like 200-300 quid sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some of them. They're just like, ugh.
Well, that fucking the Death Star, is that one of the big ones? Millennium Falcon, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That one is just.
Is it the Batman tumbler is like 280? Am I right there? I think I remember seeing it before, and I was just like, I want it so much, but I love my house.
Yeah, well, that's it. Because like the original Star Wars ones are like hundreds of thousands, I think. Like the original ones. Because I remember, I was watching, just like scrolling on my phone, and Ed Sheeran was saying the first thing when he got his first record deal. He was just in London. He was outside a Lego short store, and he was like, "I've always wanted one of those like big Lego Star Wars things." And he just walked out with it. He was like, "There you go. That's my first like thing I bought with that." Imagine that. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, Dominic Toretto's Charger, 90 quid, and I like it, but I'd like, where the fuck am I going to put it? Can I put it on display in here? It's not really game related, so.
Retro Sesh is changing, it's expanding its brand.
That's true. I could just spray it green and pretend it's a scimitar. But there was one on Wish for like 30 or 40 quid, and I was like, do I want to do that? It's less than half the price, but.
You see, coming back to the subject, I'm very disappointed in you, Mike, because I would have thought, with the lessons you had learnt from Scarface, you would have gone, I would build Retro Sesh, make HQ, turn it into a cocaine place. So what that shows to me is that the entire game you played, you didn't learn a thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I'm happy to say that unlike Postal, which turns everyone into a murderer, that I am not a cocaine fiend.
Yay!
Yay!
Also, in the same breath, I don't go racing around my town centre.
No,
that's not true. You
not
go
during
through cars
lockdown.
So quick. That's true. Yeah, takedowns. That's what it is. It's not that it's rusted to fuck underneath.
Yeah.
Just do it the push bike and just turn it into road rash and just smack people over the head and be like, take down as you cycle past.
Just baseball
right.
Boom.
Okay, so here's the ultimate question. Would you play either of your games through again in its entirety?
Yeah. I got Burnout Paradise Remastered for the PS4, and I did start playing it again. I don't have the PS4 anymore, unfortunately.
I was going to say, just sold it.
Yeah. But
can't be that good.
I've also now got it on Steam, and I do plan to play through it again.
Nice. Mike looks like he's looking up to the heavens. I don't know if it's for inspiration or he's about to pull Scarface.
I liked it so much I got the special edition Steelbook one.
Oh my goodness, look at it. So,
And
hang on a minute, you said it wasn't actually his likeness in the game, yet they've put him on the box. Am I correct?
No, sorry. I started off saying it wasn't licensed, then I said it was licensed, but he wasn't available for the voice acting. And you know it's a good game when it comes with a map, right?
With a huge ass map. So they got everything except his voice.
Pretty much, I think, yeah. And again, it wasn't. I don't think it. Well, I don't know the story behind it. To be honest, I don't know why his voice isn't on it. Maybe he just doesn't like doing video game voiceovery stuff.
Hey, you got time to do this voiceover? Nah, you're right, mate. Nah,
man.
Okay, we can use your voice though. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
All
right, yeah.
Should have got Joe Pasquale to do it.
Actually,
say hello to my little friend.
Yes, I do very much want to play it, actually. I think about it probably about once a week that I just really want to play it. But it's something that we haven't played on Retro Sesh yet. And Pete and I want to play it together. We both played it separately, but we're like, and we've dabbled, we've sat next to each other on a night with some drinks and had a go. But we want to stream like properly playing it through. So I'm not allowed to touch it until we get there. And I'm just like, fuck's sake. And then lockdown happens.
That's the problem with Burnout Paradise. I think it might be a bit boring and repetitive for a stream. Really, because it's more like I want to go do this, I want to do that. I just don't think there's much to go for a
I know what you mean, man. Like I was playing Gran Turismo 1 and I tried it on Gran Turismo 3 as well. And it's like, okay, yeah, cool, let's start it. And I love these games, blah, blah, blah. And then you start off and you do a couple of races and you're instantly like, oh, I have to start doing the licenses. And then you're like doing that. Yep. And by the time you know it, you've spent about 70% of the stream just trying to go around a corner properly.
Which is fine for you if you're sitting there on your own, because that's what you want to do. But it's,
right. Yeah, but indeed.
Cool. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else specific that I can ask. Here's a good question, actually. Maybe it will work. Actually, I know what I could ask. If there was one element of the game that you could change, what would it be and why? I'll let Mike go first on this one. He's asked a good question, fam. You know what I mean? Bad boy question, isn't it?
I'm getting Albertino to do the voice acting. Like instantly. It does sound it's pretty negligible actually once you're actually playing it, but as soon as you know it's not him, you're like, oh yeah, he doesn't quite have the rasp there or whatever. Just getting him on there to do that would just top the game off. And I was thinking about things like this came out between Vice City and San Andreas. And you can swim in this game, and you can swim to other islands, and you can get eaten by a shark if you swim too far, which I think was the game's way of saying invisible wall. But yeah, there's boats and all this stuff which you couldn't do in those early GTA games. I think you can in Vice City actually, but if you fall out of the boat, you're dead. Actually, you can in GTA 3.
Yeah,
but it's fucking terrible looking. There you go.
Okay. Right, go on ahead. Let's have it.
I'd say they tried to fix it already because it was released on. They did a major patch for it, which was like they were trying to rejuvenate the game. It was if you started a race and say, because with this you don't have any waypoints in the game. You don't see like a little line on the map saying this is where you should go. It is all up to you. And then, if you really fuck up and you're thinking, shit, I need to start this again, then you quit out the race, but you stay where you were. So you'd have to drive all the way back to the start. But they did fix that in the, as part of this major release, and it was good. You could still do it, but sometimes it's just you don't want to do it because of the fucking loading times to restart the race. It was just that. I mean, if they had a way just to be able to restart it all a bit quicker, it wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I have enough information to make a decision.
Oh, please do.
So, after having a review and looking at the evidence in chronological order of how I asked them, Mike, it's not you. Ed has taken this one on the basis of that. If you put the two games up as single player games, that's fine. But the fact that it had a multiplayer function and that he brought in the community factor is the reason why I would say that. But what I was going to come to is if Scarface had like a competitive thing where like who's got the leaderboard for the most money, even that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But I mean, problem is with PS2, isn't it? I mean, who fucking used a PS2 online? No one.
I did, and yeah, never again.
Yeah.
I have always wanted to play Scarface, but on your knowledge of what you've just explained now, I will definitely go away and play it, because I think I too also have that tin somewhere kicking around in this room. I have very fond memories of Burnout Paradise, and hearing Ed talking about some of the community stuff kind of brought some of that back.
Maybe we should all play it. I've got it.
Have you got the remastered
I've
of the
never
original?
played it though.
Because they finally shut the servers down. I think it was last year, or the year before. They finally shut the original servers down. It lasted that long.
Ooh. Really? Damn. I shall check. But no, I have actually always wanted to play it, and you and someone that I used to work with recommended it as well.
Yeah. Most people always most people always say 3 or Takedown. Is that was 3 and Takedown the same one? I can't remember.
Burnout 3.
Yeah,
Takedown,
so they always said that that's their favourite, but I never got into Burnout games. It was only Burnout Paradise that I got into.
Really? I mean, we played 1 and 2 on the channel. I mean, I played 3 Takedown a lot when I was younger, but I wanted to try 1 and 2 out. And you can tell, like, Burnout 1 is Burnout, but there's not that many cars. The racing seems pretty basic. There's no takedowns. There's no, you get some crashes now and again. And then in the second one, you get the crash mode, specifically the crash mode, which I fucking love. And then in Takedown, they introduced the takedowns.
If you don't have that game, the other one I do highly recommend is Need for Speed Most Wanted. The new one. Because that was developed by Criterion and is effectively a Need for Speed licensed version of Burnout. So you get your licensed cars and stuff. They've still got the billboards and the smash gates and all that stuff, but it's all licensed cars. It's practically Burnout Paradise all over again. I've
got the Ultimate box. Is that the original?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
So I don't think that will work anymore. So you'll have to get Burnout Paradise remastered. It bundles all the DLC that came with it. But check the prices because I've got Need for Speed Most Wanted on EA Play at the moment.
I've got Hot Pursuit and Shift.
But yeah, it's really good, and that's another one. I think I platinumed Need for Speed Most Wanted as well.
Oh really?
Yeah, but it was so similar to Burnout Paradise. It was ridiculous, and I loved it.
Oh, and both of them. It's £6.29 currently, 65% off.
What on?
Bargain
on Steam.
Which one? Which game?
Most Wanted, the new one.
Yeah, I'd highly recommend it.
Noted. I mean, when does this? I get paid in 3 days. Oh, but it runs out in 21 hours. No, I'm going to watch myself spend more money.
Do it. Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it.
It can die in a
well. You don't need to eat. Do it now.
No, I do not want to eat. Go again. Give these people more games.
Give these people alcohol.
Lovely stuff.
Okay.
That went down a tangent.
Well done, Ed. I hope that you're happy with your first win.
I am.
Oh, was that your first win? Yes, get in, Ed.
Oh, sorry. No, not first.
Not first ever. Fuck me.
Of the round.
It's lucky if he ever wins an episode.
That's true, yeah. But I won the Christmas one. I said WAN. Yeah. I won the Christmas one.
You did.
I'm happy with
that.
Did. I made Puppet say that Bad Santa was a shit film. And it was his favourite film. And he still said it was shit. I don't know how I got away with that.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Right. Round 2, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are going to say, well, we're going to have 2 games that we think are crap, and we're going to have to fight for which one's the crappiest and why.
Yes.
And much of the same, Mr. Dean will judge us and ask us questions.
This is going to hurt. Right, let's have it.
Yeah. Why do you like some of the game on our wheels?
I don't know. Is this the bad list?
This is the shit list.
This is the shit list. Yeah.
So,
there's a game. Oh.
What did you spot on Michael's wheel?
Well, I'm a bit disappointed. He's put GoldenEye in there. Oh, PS3. Sorry, I apologise.
Yeah.
I was about to get in my car, break lockdown rules, and drive to your house and just hit you with a fish. Yeah, I think most of those I would probably. Yeah.
Let's hear something. Right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry.
We need a bit of crack there.
Yeah.
Scarface.
Scarface.
Yeah. You got the original game, yeah? Did you ever notice this? Check out check out Boobs Out Natalia on the side.
Oh, yeah.
For people watching
Piers.
on YouTube.
Oh, Piers Brosnan.
That's
you
one way to get people to
absolute
watch.
sly little pervert.
Yeah, right.
That'll be the thumbnail.
Yeah. Fucking right, it will.
Pierce Brosnan is a perv. He's not.
No, I love him. He's a gorgeous man.
He is a lovely
Spin
man.
your wheel. Yeah.
Yes.
Right, here we go. What is it going to be? I'm hoping it's Echo.
Ooh, okay. Santa Claus Saves the World.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever.
Are you sure? Is that even a game?
Yes, we played it last Christmas.
Oh, God. Right, okay.
Fucking hell. Okay.
And you can watch a video of that on Retro Sesh.
I think I might have to because it sounds that bad. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll reference it many times and try and make me put clips into the podcast.
I don't need. No, I won't do that. I'll send you the file after you.
here's me and Pete.
My shit list. Here we go.
Right, here we go. Right,
Nice.
what have we got?
Nothing.
No, because I'm not displaying it. There we go.
Oh, here we go. Aladdin.
For the
Ooh, Ed.
SNES. For the SNES.
SNES version.
The Mega Drive version
Yeah, all right.
is far superior.
This is true.
Right.
Also,
okay.
Home Alone brackets Mega Drive. Like,
Is that-
didn't
is that-
Angry Video Game Nerd make a video where he had every
He did.
Home Alone?
Yeah,
game?
because he didn't he have Macaulay Culkin in with him, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
But
Yes.
I see a theme with TV shows there.
yeah, well, that's true. Well, that's normally how it goes, I guess.
Indeed. Here we go. It is.
Oh, fucking
tremendous.
hell. Grange Hill for the Spectrum.
Yes.
Also, E.T., the Atari version. Did you ever play that?
Yes,
yeah.
it is a absolute
Not genuine.
bag of-
I will admit it's emulated.
Oh, right. I was going to say, like, isn't it like one of the rarest games ever?
Yeah.
as Ed pulls out a golden box with a briefcase, just like
Mint condition.
I am the one. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. As Mike Googles
Yeah, I just need a quick refresh.
straight on that certain website, that ph.com.
PH. Stepsister gets locked into washing machine. I try to help her out, but fall inside of her. Oh, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
It's a good game, that.
Yeah.
Definitely play that one again.
Peter North lays ropes on. Okay, right. So, are we good to go? Have you done a bit of a? I've only looked at a YouTube video and quickly skipped through to refresh myself.
I'm just trying to find some bits because I honestly, Jesus Christ, I remember when I had a Spectrum when I really wanted a Mega Drive because everyone else had one, and it was a case of we'll get you a games console, and they got me a Spectrum. It was that kind of stuff, and I do remember playing it back then. I went, "What the fuck is this?" Right, okay, go for it.
Sake,
Come on,
Mike's
let's do
made
it.
me cry.
So your parents put a Spectrum down in front of you, and you just went, "Hey, what's wrong with you?"
It was probably about. It was 1999. No.
I think that peaked a little bit there. Right.
Right. So, first question to Ed. Does the event that takes place in Grange Hill, I think it was Grange Hill, where one of them it wasn't. No, hang on a minute, I'm getting my TV shows mixed up, aren't I? It was the one with Ant and Deck in it. That was Biker Grove. Bollocks.
Biker Grove.
I grew up thinking the wrong one. Right, anyway, scrap that question. I'll go to another one. What's the most impressive graphical element in your game?
It's probably the picture of the. I'm going to have to put a picture up on fucking screen. It's probably a picture of the the main protagonist who you play, called Gonch, and it's a fantastic picture. Hang on, let me see if I can just share this with you guys.
Gonch.
Yeah, Gonch. No, I'm just sharing this quickly on Discord for these guys.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
I mean, the name already sounds ridiculous.
There he is. Look at the quality of that picture.
Oh my god! I'm not being funny, but I think I've seen him on an Operation U-Tree like picture. That's come up. 'Cause he doesn't look like a kid. Is all I'm going to say.
He looks like Curly Watts on meth. I think it's could have.
Either that or he should be in the Smiths.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, you let yourself go, Curly. Bloody hell. That is scary.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, it's soft sell.
Good stuff.
Wow. Well, that's a vision that's burnt into my retinas.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to you, Mike. What's the best graphical element of your game?
I'm gonna copy. I'm going just straight for the main menu, which indeed does show the protagonist. And I will have the same advantage and show you what that looks like.
Incredible. I don't know, to beat Gonch, you've got to pro pretty good, so I'm intrigued to see this.
Don't know if you can see that.
Hold on. 1 second.
What is this?
Bring it up.
What is this? It's like my first 3D render. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I mean,
it really
I don't
is
know,
just like
I don't know what
spheres.
I don't know what Santa's got in his hand. He looks like he's got a bloody a watering can
handbag.
without the spout bit. He's got red gloves on, so I don't know if he's been out nicking stuff or something.
Yeah,
That Christmas tree in the I don't know, the middle ground looks awful.
clip art, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like clip art. I'm assuming that's a wizard or a fairy or
That is your nemesis.
that's
This
the
looks
nemesis.
like the kind of games that they. Looks like it should have been an educational game for schools, like in the mid-90s.
Yeah, it was actually released only in supermarkets. You know, one of those games. And we own a copy, but you know what's funny is that we have a disc-only version because the full version of this game is so expensive because it's obviously really rare because no one fucking bought it.
So what you're saying is that a supermarket, hang on a minute. Someone had to go into a board of directors and pitch that to supermarkets and be like, do you know what? I've got this beautiful game. Have a look at this. Click. And the first thing they saw was that shit.
Yeah.
And they're probably like, what's our biggest selling game about? I don't know. We've got GTA. We've got all these other titles. Where do you think this is going to pitch?
You know why? You know
Down
why?
here?
You know how it got in? Because it's a Christmas game. And someone said, oh, well, how many other Christmas games? We're missing this whole load of people that want to buy games to play for one day a year. That's probably what happened.
You can stop sharing your screen now, Mark.
I'm trying, honestly. I've clicked it so many times.
I don't know what's
it's not
worse.
stopping.
Both of those were like visual terrorism. That's the only way I can describe that. That was...
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to need a minute off that. Christ. What did you say? Gonch. Gonch is still he's still scaring my mind at the moment. He's going to be calling me just.
It's black and white as well, so it makes it.
That's the
burn
problem.
harder.
That's the thing. It looks like It looks like an old like 70s newspaper clipping where it's like Gonch has murdered an entire family or something like that. And he's just like peering over someone's fence, like you're right. Wow. Okay. So, do you know anyone else who has played this game? Ed?
No, it came back into my mind many years ago when Mr. Biffo, Digitizer, he did a post about it on his website, and I went, "Oh my fucking god! Someone else has actually played this bloody game." But I mean, this was 1987, so I'm not too sure. I mean, it depends on the popularity, how many people really loved Grange Hill, and it was basically. It was saying, look, kids, don't fall down a well. It's that kind of game, you know.
Don't fall down the well, otherwise Gonch will stab you in the heart.
You were Gonch. You know, you were playing Gonch.
So you were a murderer, basically, is what you're getting at. You were a child murderer waiting for people to fall in a well, and you're like, oh, I've fallen in the well with you, stab.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, Mike, over to you. Do you know anyone else who's played that very interesting flash-looking game you've got?
Me and Pete played it together for like not last Christmas, but the Christmas before, and we bought it specifically for that, and we had never heard of it or anything before then. So no,
I can't think why. I really can't think why.
I'm just looking at this picture now. I literally have PTSD.
Wonderful. Right. Do you remember any specific audio clips from the game that made you want to put your fist through the TV?
This was a Spectrum, so it was all text-based. But I do have a quote here. So you you go from section to section and you stumble across a drug dealer. Okay. And the lines actually says, there is an empty look in his eye as he snatches the money from your hand. His face is pale and drawn, his body thin and unfed. He steals to keep his habit and makes addicts of children. He is dead, and soon you will be too.
Fucking hell.
It's really fucking... But the way they do it as well, it's like, yo, kids, how you do it? It's like, when you the cool dad who tries to think that they're not old and they can still hang out with people. It's like that. It's just done in such a weird way. It's very BBC trying to be youth. Down with the kids. Street.
I thought you were describing Scarface there for a minute. But Scarface on the spectrum. Right, over to you, Mike. Worst audio or textual piece of information that was ridiculous.
No, I mean, the game looks pretty much just as you saw then on that picture. So, yeah, it's kind of trying to look like the pre-rendered sort of Donkey Kong stuff. But obviously failing quite drastically. I imagine it cost quite a lot to do that back in the day. So I'm going to give you the soundtrack, which I remember quite vividly because you're on the start menu and you've got some, it's not really like we were expecting like ding, 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 or anything like that, which someone could have achieved just on a piano, quite easily. But it wasn't. It was just, I think, a random twinkling of bells or something, if I remember. Don't worry, Ed, not Bells the Whiskey. But yes, we were like, oh, okay, that's a bit shit. And then as soon as we started the game and it loaded in, it started off with slap bass. And it was just like, completely obviously nothing to do with it. They just managed to have some music that was probably on the cutting board from a different game and they just fucking wanged it in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we've had Grange Hill Scarface and Slap Bass fucking Father Christmas. Well,
what was the first one?
There is a beautiful section.
Oh, Grange Hill Scarface.
There's a beautiful section that I do remember, and I had to go find it just to be sure. It was like you're walking around and you walking past this block of old age pensioners flats, and that's what it calls it. They call it old age pensioner flats. And you're walking along, and you find items on the floor you got to pick up, and outside the flats there's a set of false teeth. You're like, okay, pick up false teeth. Okay. And you think that's normal, that it's like saying, oh, there's a wall by the flats. There can't be anything possibly wrong around here. And you carry on. And the next scene you come along, you see a glass eye. It's like, what the fuck has happened here? It's some pensioners are just throwing shit out their window. What the fuck?
I don't need this anymore.
Yeah, it's all over the fucking place. Yes, it's interesting.
Oh dear. Right, here's the most important thing, and this will define how good the game is. Do either of you know how the ends of your games end?
No.
Ed?
I think it's all down to it's basically this thing. It's not really set in the school. It's more set around trying to get home. And you're just trying to get back home to your mum, so you're trying to avoid drug dealers and
specifically to Dean's mum.
Yeah, drug dealers, and you're not trying to get involved in bullies and stuff like that, just to get to Dean's mum. Poor Gonch.
Valid.
Yeah, so Gonch gets home to his mum, I believe. That's from memory.
I mean, I think I can make a decision, but. I mean, they both are. If I had a bin here and I had both games, I would genuinely put both of them in with a lot of lighter fluid, light it, and not be a ferret. Like, if it was the last two in existence, I don't think anyone would be offended if they both went extinct. Do you know what I mean? Like, if they were rare animals, you'd go, oh, well, it's an animal, they kind of need to be rare. Those two games sound like they need to not exist anymore. In fact, if I go through and find either one of those games in any ROM collection that I may have obtained, I will purposely remove those out of
shift
the
delete
right reasons. Yes, exactly.
I guess the thing is they're both guilty of the same thing, which is mine's profiting for profit only on the fact that it's Christmas, and Ed's is profiting only on the fact that people at the time liked Grange Hill. So
And that is exactly the reason why I'm going to make a decision. And the decision is I'm going to go with you, Mike, because with the Grange Hill one, you could probably sit there and kind of have some kind of fun, even if you do encounter weird drug dealers.
I get it, because you're laughing at it. Yeah, you're laughing at it.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, it does have that form of entertainment to it.
Exactly. And the other thing is that for Mike's game, like, you could just imagine parents going into a supermarket going, "Oh, I bet my child would really like this because it's like Christmas and they can play it on Christmas Day." And they play it and they're like, "This is like visual terrorism. Like, what have you done to me?" So on the disappointment of Christmas alone, well done, Mike. You have won on that basis.
Thank you, Dean. Thank you, everyone listening and watching.
But equally, they both need to be put into a rocket and sent completely out of the Earth's atmosphere and then exploded into many pieces.
Sounds good to me.
If you would like to fund that, you can pay on Patreon.
We'll put a link at the end.
Yeah.
Link in description below.
Okay, guys, now we're moving on to the car salesman round. This is where we don't know anything about the games that Dean has put in front of us. We will be given one at random by the wheel, as is tradition, and we will then have 5 minutes once we receive the name of that game to do some googling. Whether we may watch some YouTube stuff, we may look at the wiki page and things like that, and then we will come back and we'll have to try and sell the game to Dean, and the one that he thinks we did best on wins.
Exactly.
But there are a few on there that I really hope both of you get. Like, really hope, because
really?
There's at least 3 on there that I think if you get, the descriptions will be incredible.
Well, we got there's a good chance, two of us, well, hopefully one of us should get one of those 3.
Come on.
Will,
Wheel, give us the destiny.
We have the wheel. Michael, you'll go first.
Please. Spin me.
Here we go.
Tickety tick 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 tick
tick tick tick tick tick tick tick. Blood.
Oh, blood. Ooh. Okay.
Okay, I shan't start googling until.
I was going to say, how can you do that without knowing like the platform? If they just Google the word blood,
it's on PC. Just FYI.
Okay, right.
Blood PC.
Oh, I think I might have to refresh this. We'll see, because I think. Oh no, no.
Oh, Mr. Mosquito. One of them has come in.
There we go.
Come on.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen listening and or watching, we're going to take 5 minutes and do some Googling. Bye. Don't say bye, cut that out, yeah?
No, I'm leaving that and this in.
And
I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it all in.
Yeah. to the balls. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We have done our research. It's been 5 minutes. We've each been watching YouTube things and looking at wikis and such like. And we're ready now, Dean, for you to ask us questions about our favourite games ever.
Yeah, I love this game. I play it all the time.
This is going to be the best segment, so everybody get yourself a big drink, because this is going to hurt. Right, I'm going to start with Ed, because he looks like he's got PTSD. So what's your favourite element about Mr. Mosquito?
My favourite element?
In terms of gameplay and overall
it would
aesthetics.
have to be sucking the blood out of the leg of a Japanese teenager, obviously.
Would you like to elaborate any further on that?
Yeah, so fuck.
Fucking Ed gets in.
So the best bit would be, so you trying to make sure that these characters aren't stressed, because if you increase their stress level, then they may attack you, because you are a mosquito flying around the room whilst people are maybe sleeping or doing the washing or watching television. and you have a specific body part that you have to suck the blood from, depending on what stage you're on. And yeah, so I guess the best bit of the best mechanic is the stress meter, making sure that they're not stressed.
There we go. So sucking blood and reducing stress. What a wonderful game. So yeah, same question to you, young Michael.
Was that my
favourite elements of the game from...
Okay, so Blood 97 on the PC almost exclusively. Awesome game. My favourite element of this game is that it actually takes a lot of stuff from Doom. I mean, to look at it very quickly, you'd probably assume it's the same, or at least by the same devs, but it's not. It is, in fact, better, to be honest. It's like, because in Doom, you shoot them, they fall down, and you end up with this little pile on the floor. But in this, things are flying off. And one of your primary weapons is dynamite. You could lob dynamite at them, boom, just a hail of blood. And you can tell that's definitely one of the things they were focusing on. So in answer to your question, sir, it is going to be the array of weapons that you have. It's just really, really cool. You get like your basic things like a shotgun and stuff like that. But then you also get really cool weapons and innovative, like a Tesla rifle, nothing to do with Elon Musk, a napalm launcher, nothing to do with Postal, and the aforementioned dynamite as well, which looks like it's got to be my favourite one.
Excellent. Okay, so coming back, you've already touched on elements of what the storyline is. So this one's to Ed. Can you explain in a very short sentence what the storyline of Mr. Mosquito?
Can we just go back on a previous question? What the fuck is a relaxation point?
What? Explain. What do you mean, what the fuck is it? It's your favourite game, you know what it is.
I mean, yeah. I just thought, why the hell did I not think of that interesting part?
Is it genuinely
so like if I'd play it that often, I'd just forget about it. It's like second nature to me. Yeah, especially if you're trying to suck blood from the leg of a person and they might get stressed, then you can often hit relaxation points in their body, which are
inside of the body,
specific areas of their body.
What? What, like genitals? Is that what you get?
Anyway, so what was the next question? Sorry.
Explaining the storyline in a very short
you're a mosquito
sentence.
And you're flying around this house of this family, and each stage is effectively a different person and a different room. And as I said, they either have different parts of the body that you've got to go for, or a relaxation point.
Oh, my chair's squeaking.
I am trying so hard not to laugh hysterically at the moment. So, right, okay. Same question to you, Mike. So, explain the storyline in a short sentence.
Okay, so the storyline of Blood is that you are with a group of friends and you all get completely just annihilated by a cult, like a demonistic cult, if you like. You get buried alive. However, rather like in Altered Beast, you rise again, and you end up having to fight your way out, and eventually destroy bad motherfucker that put you there in the first place. It's quite straightforward. They definitely focused more on the actual mechanics of gameplay than the story, that's for sure.
So, how do you find the controls of playing the game? So, to Ed, how is flying a mosquito using?
Well, because this is my favourite game, I would have to say that they are challenging. The mechanics are rewarding. You definitely build up a skill over time. So you might think, there's only a few stages to go through, but it takes skill and technique to actually, navigate this Mr. Mosquito through
relaxation points,
to various relaxation points. Yeah, so it's
good.
I wouldn't say they're shit. I would say they are challenging and complex.
challenging. Okay,
because it's my favourite game.
Indeed, yeah. And same to you, Mike.
The controls in Blood are second nature. They are literally, the game runs so smooth with the mouse and everything. It's basically just like playing Doom. It's just, they didn't fuck around and do anything crazy. That's not what they wanted to do. It's all about going around, slaying stuff, and doing it on, better hardware than a PlayStation.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, how can I put this?
You're having fun, aren't you, Dean?
I am loving this. Absolutely loving this. This is what I have waited for my entire life. Is to break someone on their own podcast is a dream come true. I'm not going to say who I've broken, for obvious reasons. But yes, it's getting that way. Someone on this podcast may need some therapy.
Some anusol.
Right. So I guess the big question here is that, and I'm going to start with Mike on this one.
All
what
right.
do you think the developers were thinking when they were creating this? What do you think the core driving force was to create this game?
I reckon Monolith Productions made the game they're fans of horror films, right? They love the genre. The game is very dark and moody, rather like Doom, but there's all these sort of references. There's even on a wall, you've got the Jason hockey mask with the machete next to it. There's quite a few times in each level where you will find yourself walking through some woods and you're in a cabin, right? Okay, well, there you go. And that's, of course, where you find Jason's mask as well. And you'll find very, reminiscent things. So these guys are just a fan of the genre through and through, and they're making a horror game. It is tongue-in-cheek. They know they're having a laugh with it. The voice acting in this game, might add, is sublime. Suspicious, especially when you catch on fire, because he's screaming, and the only thing you can picture is this guy running around a microphone like, my God! But it's done very well. So it's got like comedic twists in there, which means that you can just power on and slay through these bastards.
Wonderful. Okay, so to you, Ed, the inspiration behind Mr. Mosquito.
What? Hey, sorry, I was looking at a picture of a woman in a jacuzzi.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were looking at her relaxation points.
Oh, they were there too.
PG. Yes, the inspiration. What do you think the inspiration was for the creation of Mr. Mosquito?
The what? Sorry, you broke up then. I'm not joking either. You broke up.
Inspiration of Mr. Mosquito. What do you think it was?
The family values of Japanese culture and how hot it gets in the summer, and how the family can team together to defeat mosquitoes.
Okay, I think that'll do. I'm pretty satisfied with that.
Fucking awful.
Right. I think I can make a decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to find out who's won the episode.
Oh, right. That's my cue, obviously.
Yeah.
So, based on efforts of being able to take a very unique genre and spin it into a very positive way, I'm going to go with Ed, because not only have I given him PTSD, but his explanation of the game was absolutely fantastic. The sensitive areas are something that people often go for. So I'm going to go with Ed.
Are you shitting me? The Mike was describing. I didn't actually hear anything Mike was saying because I was too busy staring at mosquitoes.
You see, this is the thing. The way Mike said it was like somebody who was reading from a script, but you were describing it like somebody who had played it and had got such bad PTSD from it that they were struggling to say it back.
But it's supposed to be my favourite game.
Exactly my point.
So you're saying his mind's been eroded by the game.
Great.
Precisely my point.
So what I mean, I have looked at the game briefly just now. Like you have you're a mosquito who flies around. I get it. You have to suck blood. There's a stressometer, blah, blah, blah. And the relaxation points are, of course, to then negate that. But why is it? I mean, what makes it so weird? Why are you, you know?
It is very, I mean, if you've not played the game. So I remember when I got this. So I used to work in a game store. I used to work in a game station a long, long time ago when they were still around. And I remember someone traded it in. It's like, what the hell is this? And I have this urge, and I did the same thing with DVDs, that if there was something crap, I had to buy it immediately, just to say that I own something crap. So, for instance, one of the worst movies that I've ever watched, period, is called Urban Menace, and it's got like Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, and stuff like that in. It looks like someone took 4 movies, merged them together, and just didn't cut it together right. And it's got a budget of about 12 pence. That's about what, 8 cents.
They spent all the money on the cast.
In fact, spoilers. The end of the film has the rapper Big Pun. He's supposed to have been shot, but it looks like he's got a bit of jam from a jam donut. It's a bit here.
What's really funny for us on Discord is that you cut out then just as you said the spoiler. So we still don't know. It's like Discord, you know, cut in there. I was like, no, you have to watch it.
Yeah, so Big Pun has a bit of jam, basically. It looks like jam running down his face. So it looks like he's been shot, and halfway through being shot, he's just sort of gone, no, this is so nice. Oh, I'm being shot, and I've just left this half a jam donut left on my face. So, yeah, it's pretty horrific. But yeah, going back to Mr. Mosquito, I remember this guy traded it in. I was like, what the hell's that? So I can't even remember how much we traded it in for. It couldn't have been much. No. And then I remember we had like a PS2 out back, so we used to like test games before we would trade them in and stuff. And I was like, okay, so I remember putting it in, and I remember seeing like the vibrant colours and stuff when it boots up. And I was like, okay, right, fine. And then at lunch, we were like, what the hell is this? So I was like, okay, well, me and my colleague went on lunch, came back. I don't know where we went for food, come back to the store, went into the back. And I remember putting it in, and we kind of like, I was like, well, let's let the intro run whilst we're having lunch. I was like, all right. So I remember putting the disc in, turning it on, let it run. And then we got to like the intro sequence, and I was just like, what is this? What mentalist has made this? So as you said, yeah, you fly around as a mosquito sucking blood, but then like it's like, oh, you have these sensitive points that if you touch, it kind of reduces their stress. Except for most of them are in very precarious areas, let's say. So I was just like, okay, it's not like, oh, you know, they're very stressed, let's massage the neck or something like that. No, it's let's go to some very private areas on
you
people.
Can say
so
it.
I was like,
are you not? You clearly don't know who listens to this shit.
No, I'm trying to be as PC as possible because I want people to go, basically. So the fact that you have to go and visit said areas as a mosquito is
the weirdest one for me. The weirdest one for me was the it looks like, is it the dad, the old man or whatever? He's lying in front of the TV, and then he comes and gets you, and then it's like you're now going for the old man's genitals to calm him down. It's
Well, you know. Maybe it's
at least he's a mosquito that believes in equality. So
maybe maybe the old man's been in lockdown. You know, he needs a bit of relaxation and relief. You know, get the mosquito out.
This family should be locked up.
So if I remember rightly, I need to go and have a look this up. I seem to remember this was a character from something in Japan. I could be wrong.
Right.
Because I remember looking this up. I just went, this is the makings of an absolute psychopath. And yeah, I vividly remember the one part where you can't. I think there's a girl in a bedroom and she's lying down, and you literally can like hover around like the skirt area and literally look straight down. I was like, this is insane. In fact, I mean, I'm just looking at reviews here, and the fact that they've given it a 7.9 out of 10 on one website is astonishing. IGN giving it 7.5 out of 10. Now, I can think of much better games than that deserve much better scores. The fact that that's got a 7 and not a freaking 2 is incredible. To be honest, it's weirdly enjoyable, but for all of the wrong reasons. Like if you took out all the, let's touch someone's boob and someone's minge, like it's just a very boring game. Yep. It's like, do this, twist this thing, you suck up the blood. Yeah, you're great. Well done, job done. Add in the boobs and the minge. Winning.
It's the scene.
Yeah,
it's the scene
that's-
that I've got. I've got here. It was like, okay, what is there's one of the girl or the mum, I don't know, is in the bath. So she's laid back and she's relaxing, and the water is up to here, just hiding it. And you have got to suck the blood. Sorry, I'm on a podcast. The water is just above the what's it called? Ravioli. And the fly, and you're the mosquito, and you've just got to like just above the top of the breast. You've got to suck the blood from it while she's there relaxing.
Just have a little cheeky nibble.
Yeah.
A bit of foreplay. That's how it starts. So I'm just going to read you a quote here from in 2008, Game Informer named Mr. Mosquito one of the top 10 weirdest games of all time. Now, if it's already made a top 10 list of weird games, it definitely deserves to be in there. And it's also made into a top 7 list on the Games Radar. So here we go. Here's my favourite quote by contributor Matt Cundy. Comically summarised the latter list, saying, "Given that mosquitoes kill millions of people every year, we'd have thought that the game would put players in control of such a notorious serial killer that would have been met with more controversy." So basically, what he's saying is he would have thought it would have been more violent than what it is, but it's a perverse game, but in a bundled kind of like, isn't mosquitoes great? I can suck your blood, but I'm also a massive pervert, but we'll look over that point. But I'm a mosquito. It is mental. And the fact that there's a second one is even more insane. So if you do want to pick it up, go and get it.
What I will
already
say,
ordered it whilst we're talking.
Unlike Mr. Mosquito, what did you say then? Sorry,
I said I've already ordered it whilst we've been talking.
I'm on eBay now. I'm just gonna have how much does it even go for?
I dare to think. I dare to
Fucking
think.
53 quid, man.
Really?
Yeah, fuck.
Result. I think I must have paid about £3 for that when I was
39.
back in.
Yeah, 39 is the cheapest.
Absolute result.
Blood looks like a genuinely fucking good game. I assume you have actually played it.
Yes, I have played Blood. Well, I've played both games, unfortunately, Mr. Mosquito as well. But yeah, Blood is a fantastic game, and I genuinely remember when it first came out, because there wasn't a massive amount. I mean, I'm just casting my mind back. Chat will probably be like, "Oh, you fucking forgot about this game, you dickhead." But yeah, I remember very well that that's obviously a troll doing some typing. But I genuinely remember there not being many horror FPS type games. I mean, obviously Doom was a horror genre, but one that really encapsulated the horror genre in one. And Blood definitely does that. Like, for instance, you can get a pitchfork and pitch someone's head off with it and stuff like that. Nice. As you mentioned, it's incredibly gory. The audio is amazing. The gameplay is brilliant. It's voiced over by an absolute legend who unfortunately has passed away a few years ago, I think, if I remember correctly.
Oh, right.
But yeah, it is a fantastic game. It hasn't aged probably well going into modern times, but in terms of enjoyment, it is still an absolutely brilliant game. So if you've not played Blood, make sure you go and do so if you're into FPSs.
The only thing I will say is that because, as is the nature of the whole round, these are games that we've never heard of, they're quite rare, and there's only 2 copies. One is, it obviously got an inkjet printed thing in a jewel case, and that one's about 30 to 40 quid. There looks like there's one, but it's got like a cut mark on the top of it, whereas someone's obviously just been using it as a coaster for a while. Looks like it's legit though. But he does also Blood PC CD-ROM manual, CD and case, but no outer box or demo disc. So it looks like you get the game and stuff, but stuff's missing. So that's 55 quid even still. So
yikes.
Trying to get a copy of that.
It must be on Steam. It's got to be on Steam. It can't be that much.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'm relatively sure about that. Let's have a quick gander.
Let's have a squiz.
I'm going to have a quick throw open the Steam app. Here we go. Straight into the search bar.
Well, I've typed in Blood and it's not coming up, but that could be because it's not, at the top, or not many people buy it.
Let's have a look. Is it not on Steam? That is drastically disappointing if it's not. It isn't. Bloody hell. Oh, maybe it's on GOG.
I was just about to look on GOG. Blood Fresh Supply is on GOG.
Okay.
£7.19. Is that a sequel?
I believe so, yes.
You did say Blood 2 earlier.
Yeah, there's another one called Blood Fresh Supply. But there's Blood.
I think that may have been a graphical
overhaul.
Yeah.
You're right, it is. And that is on Steam.
It includes the original Blood and the add-ons. So,
okay.
yeah.
So that answers your question, Dean. Sorry. It is on Steam, but as Blood Fresh Supply.
Yeah.
Right.
So that explains that. Man, that's going straight on the wish list, guys.
It's £7.19 on GOG. What's it on Steam?
Same, exactly. So that's obviously a key for Steam.
Yeah. But no, it is a fantastic game. If you've not played it before...
No, it's not a Steam key. It's DRM-free.
Wonderful. But just the start of it, I will spoil it because it is brilliant. The top of the casket basically opens up and you basically exit out of the grave into this grave area, right. And then that's it. It all just kicks off from there. So it's not like here's an intro that we're gonna. It's literally go from the moment go. You're pitchforking and stabbing someone's head off. So if that doesn't get you excited, but the fact that I broke Ed, it had to be Ed. It just had to be watching. As soon as watching him deteriorate.
It's weird because as soon
brilliant.
as I saw the intro, I thought, I know what kind of game this is going to be. You know, I've seen these kinds of games, and I think I've seen clips of it before in the past. But for some reason, it was like I wasn't shocked. I was mesmerized. It's weird. It's like it was like staring into Hypnotoad. I just didn't know what was going on. Yeah. Good choice.
For anyone who's not played Mr. Mosquito, I would highly recommend it because it's
on PS2, isn't it? But
I believe it's on PS2. I think I have a funny feeling. There was one Mr. Mosquito 1 European release, definitely PS2. I don't know if the number 2 ever released in Europe. If it did, it's probably stupidly rare. And I think it was also released for the PS3, but it may have been exclusive to Japan.
Okay. I mean, when I type it in on eBay, they're the only ones coming up on PS2. It's not on PC either. So, guys, if you are going to play it, you're going to do it illegally with the ROM or pay money.
But it's something everybody should experience at least once. I have often said to people, have you played this? And they go, no. I throw the case at them and they pick it up and just go, what is this? And I'm like, come with me. We will play it on the PS2 here. Have a look. And then after about 10 minutes, they go, this is mental. And I'm like, I know. That's why we're playing it.
Well, maybe when lockdown's over, we can actually phically meet up and have a go.
I just decided to start having a look at Mr. Mosquito 2 because you mentioned it. God's sake.
I don't know if it had a weird name. I seem to remember something about a second one being released.
But I mean, fuck's sake, Dean.
Was that an offer?
This is the picture I came across.
Yeah, we go. There we go.
Nice.
It's some well-built bloke lying face down, and I think maybe two women lying either side of him on the floor. Just no explanation.
I'll tell you what, they've had a good night. They have had a really good night.
They've been on Scarface.
It's a crossover. The mosquito took a bit of the cocaine. He then went around, and then he just gave it to everyone. They all blacked out on the floor.
There we go.
Good. Well, I'm glad that I've officially blown Ed's mine apart. So
and you've given me a good game to add to my wish list to buy.
I feel like I've given something back. Maybe partly PTSD, I'm not sure, but at least I've given you one decent game to go away with. So
yes. Well, I'm very happy.
I feel like I want to talk about the other game.
If I can find it for the PS2, I might even stream it.
I feel like I want to talk about one of the other games. That's the only problem.
No, you know what? This podcast's running short, so we've got plenty of time. I'll go for
wonderful.
I'll go for a piss. Mike will go for a cigarette. You can tell everyone about the game.
Because this next game is fucking insane.
What is the game?
Wonderful.
Go on.
What?
You seem too excited.
It's weird. It's Weird Dreams because it is just
Weird Dreams.
It is fucking insane.
Fucking insane. There you go.
I mean, all I'm going to say is look at the box art for the game. It's on the Amiga, but have a look at the box art. I think it may have been a PC release as well. I'm not too sure. But the box art looks like me if I've got really bad hemorrhoids and I'm talking about trying to have a shit.
Oh, God. Looks like something that Iron Maiden decided not to use for their album.
It does. It's very Eddie, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is, it is something quite special. The storyline alone is just fucking hell.
What's this guy doing? He look loads of pink shit flying around the screen, and
that's exactly what I'm
he's
looking
jumping
at.
around in checkered trousers.
I will explain all. It is,
so the balls are sticking to him.
Mm.
Oh no, one's fallen off now. Do you just have to find your way out of that scenario or something?
Yes. And it is not obvious what you have to do.
Oh, okay. So the game is actually quite clever.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm just, okay.
Would you like me to tell you the storyline?
Oh, please do, yes.
Sure. I mean, you said you wanted to talk about the game, so do it.
So let me just have a quick look and just remind myself.
It's
right. That's it. So the protagonist is called Steve.
Okay. Hi, Steve.
So the gentleman you're seeing in the slightly weird checkered, I guess we'll call them pajamas for the better part of the phrasing, is in love with his co-worker called Emily. Now, Steve doesn't know that Emily is possessed by a demon who has basically been sent to Earth and basically takes away most of her mind and possesses her to do some weird things. So what she basically does in her boredom is trick Steve to take 3 pills. Apparently he has the flu, so thus being why he needs the pills. And in turn puts him into basically a weird lucid trance dream. And as such, he then has to basically escape said dream by getting out of these weird dreams. And some of the things that you have to do in the game are a bit mental. There is, for instance, I think if I remember rightly, you start in a candy floss maker.
Yeah, that was the bit we just watched. Yeah, spinning around in a giant candy floss machine. Now he's come out of it, and now he's using the candy floss to coax a giant wasp.
Correct. So the way this game works is you have to basically do it via trial and error. Okay, so like you can actually exit the candy floss maker without any of the candy floss, but then you'll realise, oh, I haven't got any candy floss stuck to me, and then things are going wrong. So what do I need to get around that? So it is very clever in what it tries to do. However, it is insane. So as you can see on screen now, he's currently playing a wonderful game of Let's Throw the Ball Back to the girl. Now, as you can see, the ball now has teeth and is currently trying to bite the protagonist. So he is now throwing the ball back and it has lovely teeth. The game is made by a mentalist. Okay, so Steve basically has to go under brain surgery to remove the dreams out of his head, and under the anesthetic, he has one last dream to try and escape his madness. Now, if you do die or get hit, I think you get 3 lives, if I remember rightly, or I think you may get 5 depending on how far you get. You essentially get a scene where you get about, I think it's like 4 or 5 doctors standing over the top of you and a heartbeat, and then you just cut back around into the game. By the way, none of this, if you're playing this blind, is explained to you. I learnt this myself years later after playing the game, going, I had no idea what was going on. Now knowing the storyline, it's even more insane. So now we can see on screen there's like he's using a fish to hit a eye goblin thing with brains swinging around it.
Well, whatever other choice than a fish. I mean, that's what you would use.
Well, yeah, I think there's a fish. I think there's like was there like a stick? Oh no, hang on a minute. Let me think. I think there was like was it like a mop? The wooden bit of a mop or something, like the handle or something you could use. But the game is insane. But the thing is like it's cool that it's kind of like trial and error and learning, but you get so just like, what is going on here, that like part of the way through it, you're just like, I have no idea what's going on. It is absolutely insane. And as I said, when you play the game, none of the storyline is explained to you at all. At all.
That's crazy, because even just a quick screen with some text on it or something, just to give you a basic thing, it doesn't have to be all of what you just said. That's mental. Also, normally when you get hit, your head explodes to about 5 times the size, and it just goes like,
and then all
I
weird
saw
stuff
that,
happens.
yes, in the candy floss machine.
Or as we've just seen, the ball has now eaten the protagonist. This is made by a mentalist, is all I'm going to say. Now, I sat there and thought maybe what they were trying to do was like, maybe they did some research. You know, everybody has weird dreams. You know, they have the falling one where people feel like they're falling, they're going to hit the floor, or people have, like, for instance, clowns or something like that. There is nothing here that I've then gone and done research on where I can kind of compare the two, going, oh, yeah, that's relatable. As you can see, someone's walking on a keyboard like the ones that you had in Home Alone when they were bouncing on the keys, and it's just a ballerina that just kicks you into another room. Oh, sorry, Big. Yes, you are correct. But yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Well, there you go. Not going to look at buying that.
Oh, you definitely should. You definitely should. I think the last time I looked, there was a boxed copy on eBay for like, I want to say £30 or £20, and I nearly bought it. But then I thought, do I really want to own the contents of someone's madness? Like, I feel like the storyline is that messed up that if I then go ahead and own that, like, I've contributed to someone's madness.
No, don't worry about that. It's only secondhand. Someone else has contributed.
Someone else has been through that torture already.
Yeah, and don't forget, you said yourself you like buying the weird shit. You're, but unfortunately, I don't own a Commodore, an Atari, or an Amiga, so it's on DOS apparently though as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so maybe DOSBox would work.
Oh dear.
For that one.
Yeah.
Don't do it, Ed. Don't.
Man, I tell you what, these third rounds are always my favourite, just because we get to learn like this shit, right? Just like we would have never seen this game if it wasn't for this.
Honestly, I genuinely, the thing is like when I first heard about it, I thought it was going to be like some point and click adventure, and like I said, maybe you'd be going through like, I don't know, someone's mind, and then you kind of like have to learn the dream and then explain it back to them, like a Monkey Island type thing,
like an Alice in Wonderland or something.
And I remember the first bit when you've got that thing just whizzing around and stuff, and I was like, I have no idea what to do. And by fluke, I just like randomly jumped, and it was like, da, 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 you're out of here. And I thought, oh, okay. And then realised that obviously you need to have the bits of candy floss that stick to you, which you then give to the wasp, and then you do this and did that. But again, it's so ridiculously hard that I mean, I didn't actually finish the game.
Can I ask? Did you own like the original boxed copy of this game when you played it?
No,
right? Because I was discussing this. It's like one of the ones I hate the most. Was, as you saw, was Home Alone. And the main reason is because with the Mega Drive cartridge came with a booklet. And this was back in the days, do you remember when you used to get your game and then on the way home you'd read the booklet before you go and put the game in? And that's the thing with a lot of it. A lot of games back then, they would always have the, at least an overview or instructions in the booklet. These days, we don't have them. Maybe it is because everything's digital. I mean, even if you have a physical case, all you've got is probably a redemption code for an extra skin or something like that. There's no instructions on how to play the game anymore. It's all told how to do it in games.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about this game is some people think it's brilliant. Some people think it's absolute tosh. Now, to give you some idea on its reviews, I'm just having a quick look here. These are reviews done by a variety of different publishers and press articles and stuff. So, CVG gave it 31%. In correlation to that, a publication called The One gave it 90%. And then just for a middle ground kind of review, Amiga Action gave it 71%, and the Games Machine gave it 64%. That's how divisive this game is. Some are like, it's brilliant, and I absolutely love it. Some people are like, this is absolute tosh.
I see both sides, but...
Yeah, I sat in the ridiculous, like, why does this even exist?
I kind of appreciate it for its creativity. I find like if like Tim Burton and Terry Gilliam got together to make a film, it'd probably be something like that.
Yeah.
So the one thing is it's a very interesting game, and it's definitely different to anything else that was on the Amiga at the time. But every time you die, that disc has to load that sequence of where you see the heart rate and then the doctors.
Okay.
That takes a long time. So every time you die, you sit there and go, fuck, now I've got to wait for this to load.
A bit shit.
And then it's like, and that loading whole sequence before you get back into the game is probably a good 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it completely breaks that immersion. Yeah.
So when you all pirate this game and try it out for yourselves, make sure you put DOSBox on your SSD, and you'll be in a heartbeat.
Let me tell you this: piracy was never at its highest than when it was at the Amiga. In fact, like the amount of people I knew. In fact, casting my mind back, like Amiga copying was so thrive. Like I genuinely remember, I think it was my brother, like just getting games off his mate and just being a stack of just floppies and stuff like that. And it was like, don't they have the box? No, it's a copy. Because it was just.
It's so weird, man. Yeah.
It was weird.
You go to a car boot sale and there's that guy selling, Westlife CDs and fucking stuff like that.
That's twice you've mentioned Westlife on this podcast.
I know. I realised soon after. I was just, oh, fuck's sake. Anyway, and that box of games I sent to you, man. Like there was, like I'd say 90% of that was just discs of random shit that none of them work.
Oh. I still need to investigate one of those discs because one of them was Sex Partners, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So just for context, Mike very kindly sent me some discs, some floppy disks for the Amiga, and I was kind of going through, and the majority of them were, we'll say, aged and perished in terms of being able to load. Now, I will at some point review and go back and see if I can clean those up, but one of the discs said Sex Partners and in brackets said 18 plus. Now, I don't know if it's a game. I looked, I searched, I couldn't find anything about it. The only thing I could think of it being is it's literally a hit list of someone who owned it, of just names. A list of all of their sexual partners. Now, if it is, as good work, because if you do catch an STI...
Do you think it means more than 18 people?
Possibly.
He lost count at 18. It's like, fuck.
Yeah. Maybe he started like ticking it off and he was like, oh, do you know, it's 18 plus, there you go, done. But yeah, I genuinely tried to look for this game and I couldn't find anything about it because there was like strip poker and stuff like that. But yeah, I genuinely tried to look for this game, couldn't find anything. So I literally said, well, this has got to be someone's hit list. And at some point, I will try and review and see if I can get it. The fact that I tried to load it on a stream was quite worrying because I had no idea what was going to happen. Either the Amiga was going to blow up, I was going to get banned on Twitch. I had no idea. But
watch this
if
space,
it does
people.
exist... if you see a picture of me in the Slough Observer in handcuffs, you know what's happened. It's all gone Pete Tong. So,
I mean,
it's my sex partners officer, honestly.
Yeah. Just make sure you don't plug your Amiga in when you as into the network.
I'll make sure I'll disable the
what you could even
the video out.
Is if it is a list of previous destroyers, then you could go on Facebook and try and find them, and then ask them who they've slept with ever. Hopefully they'll probably give you a list. They'll definitely tell you to fuck off. But if they were to, then you could find out who the common contact is between them and then go back to it and be like, hey, you dirty dog.
Just hang on. So what you're saying is, I'll take this wall behind me and just put up like pictures of people and connect the dots, like those old sort of detective shows where they kind of have these pins.
That's it. Drawing pins and string all over the place.
I mean, that's a much better way of doing it. I was just talking about flat out asking.
Your web of sex.
As I said, sitting with a pipe going, I just can't connect the dots. I can't connect it. What is it? What's the common connector? They've all had sex. That's the one.
And then the FBI come in and they go, this is our case now.
Damn it, I've been working on this for 2 years. Don't take this away from me. I owe this to Mike.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, what an outro. We have been joined by MeanMachineDean today. You can find him on Twitter. It's what, _ the MMD? Or
no, it's the MMD _ because I say this every time that some bastard has MeanMachineDean and hasn't used his account since 2015. I have literally sent as many emails as you can imagine to Twitter going, oi mush, the whole point of this platform is to use it. This guy's got it. So if anyone is out there who could help me with that'd be grand. But yes, on Twitter it is the MMD _, because as I've just explained, some arsehole has already got that username, but it's pretty much MeanMachineDean on everything else.
He really is an arsehole. And he hasn't ever followed anyone. But that's the annoying part. And he's got 111 followers, and they're probably only people that know you.
They're probably all searching for you.
I'm actually
best follow this guy.
Yeah. And the
so-
funny thing is that his picture is like somebody playing football. I'm like,
Yeah.
I haven't kicked a football in about 8 years, mate. So,
Yeah.
And he,
That's
look,
only-
and he
that's
looks
because
far
the
more
football's
toned than
fucking
I
eat
am.
you,
So.
apparently.
He just plays, from what I can tell, he just plays iPhone games, and then it automatically tweets or tweeted about that iPhone game automatically, probably without him ever knowing.
Maybe what I need to do is start playing iPhone games to tweet.
Yeah,
So it
or
kinda looks like
name's
it's from
Dino
him.
Brown. I wonder if he's on Facebook, and then you could look at what his Facebook display pictures were and see if you can match it up.
That's a good idea.
He's getting his string and his fucking drawing pins out now, isn't he? Let's
Yeah.
Yes, Mike.
If you need
Yes,
to
Mike.
fucking hunt someone down, mate, I'm your man.
I know, you've been playing Scarface.
Yeah, that's it. That's not this guy. He's married and has an education. So,
Anyway, on that note,
right, VMMD _ on Twitter. He is MeanMachineDean on YouTube, and he is MeanMachineDean on Twitch as well. Of course, you've got your old penguin fucker top right. He is Ed the Penguin. Facebook. He is on Twitter. He's on Twitch. He's on YouTube. Rumors have it that you are going to start doing YouTube stuff.
Once I can figure out what the fuck to do.
gosh.
Yeah. I've got
do.
ideas. I like editing videos at the moment, so I'm just trying to think of the content. Otherwise,
You do.
it's difficult when you especially when you're in a massive retro game community, and it's like, what can you provide to people that isn't already there? So once I figure that out,
I mean,
I fully relate to that, because I remember, like, in this cupboard here is full from top to bottom in games, and I'm going, oh, that'd be good. Oh no, someone's done that. Oh, that'd be good. Someone's done that. But I think the one thing I will say as a piece of advice for everyone is that even though someone has already done it, I think it's always worth to do it yourself, because you can add your own flair to it.
But
So, for instance, you could do your own video of Mr. Mosquito.
I'm on it. That'll be my first
See?
one now.
Do it.
the hardest part will be
There we
buying
go.
it.
Watch this space. Yes, and Michael, you can find him on Twitter under RetroSesh. He was also on
Indeed.
YouTube. I'm saying it because I always forget, and Twitch.
You do.
Yes.
No
So
problem.
you
Sorry,
can
I'm just
also
looking-
find
please looking
all of
through
our
Dean's pictures.
previous episodes on pocketknockers.co.uk, where we are available on all your favourite podcast platforms as well as YouTube.
Indeed.
Also, if you would like a signed photo of Seth Rogen, you can also have that arranged.
Yep.
Mike will make that available.
Sesh Rogen.
Sesh Rogen, yeah.
Discord cut that out, but I pick up what you're putting down. It's okay.
Yeah.
I look like Seth Rogen, and that's fine. His wife's amazing. However, though, you do look like that YouTuber we just found.
That was very scary. I'll be honest. I feel like I'm going to have to. I feel like I'm going to have to
put that
either.
picture up.
I feel like I'm going to have to either completely clean shave or get like some face tattoos.
Yeah.
I haven't decided which one.
Or eye surgery.
I haven't decided which one. Possibly.
Yeah.
Or if I get eye surgery, then I can just leave them in Grange Hill. Apparently, that seems to be the place to deposit eyes, according to what Ed has said.
That's it. Right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We will catch you next time.
We're waving
Take it
now.
easy, all.
Goodbye.
Wave.
I feel like this is a weird ending to a kids' TV show.
You.
All right, stop waving now. Fuck's sake.
Good. Wonderful.